Whoa, shh. I think this is a channel. Does it say iPhone SE2 in May? Whoa, hold your horses. Before we get to the iPhone SE2 rumors possibly coming in May, let's talk about what Apple has released so far so we can kind of just think of what Apple might release in the future of this year. Apple has already had one kind of keynote or educational event in Chicago this time to release the brand new iPad, which is $330 to support the Apple Pencil with the A10 Fusion chip, along with the delayed HomePod. That's it so far. Another thing Apple has done is actually announce a keynote happening on June 4th. Of course, this is WWDC 18. It happens every year, and this is where Apple releases all of their software products, but sometimes they release some hardware products along that. Could that be the iPhone SE2? Because last year they unveiled the HomePod and iMac Pro. That didn't release until very later. So could they release the iPhone SE2 then? But the very proclaimed report is that the iPhone SE2, the 4-inch iPhone, which only starts at $330 on the Apple.com website, is the cheapest iPhone out there and has an A9 Fusion chip, so you get that 4K video in iOS 11. But the iPhone SE is 2 years old. It's just kind of like a branch off of the iPhone 6s, which that is really old now that we're in 2018. So the iPhone SE is old and it is due for a refresh. But if you're looking at the overall market trend, it sure doesn't look like we want a 4-inch phone in 2018. We want the most screen as possible. We're even putting notches on our phone to get the most screen possible. So by defining that market trend in 2018, we know that the people that are going to buy the iPhone SE is a very small amount, but that very small amount of people want a new refresh for the iPhone SE. Before we talk about what possibly could be the dream iPhone SE2, let's first talk about the name, which I've already said iPhone SE2, but personally I think this is the year. This is the year that I'm actually going to predict the name right. Predicting Apple products names so hard. Just try to do one. I think this is the year that they would just put iPhone on the name. Maybe iPhone Plus, maybe for the bigger model, but I think it's just gonna be called iPhone. So it makes sense that this model will be called iPhone SE. That's my prediction, not iPhone SE2. That kind of sounds pretty weird, SE2. I think it should just be called iPhone SE, but that's why I think it's gonna be called. Let's just move on because the name really doesn't matter. The rumored hardware going into the iPhone SE2 is that it's still gonna have that same small form factor, which many people actually enjoy, with that same small screen. I don't know how you survive, but some people do. With that 4-inch screen, it's still gonna have that. It's not gonna have a headphone jack because remember, Apple's pushing wireless to the future. It's also gonna have Touch ID, not Face ID. So if you're hoping for Face ID, I kind of doubt it because Apple had a hard, and I mean hard time putting Face ID into the iPhone X, developing the technology for that. That was crazy. So they're just gonna try to keep the iPhone SE price low with not putting Face ID in there. That makes sense. It's also gonna have an A10 Fusion chip, and it might just have a wireless back to allow for Qi wireless charging. Two features that were noticeably missing was water and dust resistant. If Apple could somehow put that in there, that would be absolutely amazing. And also was missing the A11 Bionic chip. These two things probably won't exist in the iPhone SE2. Also probably wireless charging to keep down the price below $500. One feature I quickly went over is that the iPhone SE2 is going to have an A10 Fusion chip, which is going to allow it to have HEVC video encoding. This is going to allow you to save about like 30% more space in your photos. So if you're always constantly running out of storage, which I know many people sometimes do, with my 64GB iPhone, I'm perfectly fine. But along with the HEVC thing enabled, that's also going to make the phone much faster than the A9. It's also going to prolong you for another software update, and it's going to provide a lot of value for only $400. For a lot of people, if Apple only added the A10 Fusion chip into the iPhone SE2, which I won't be surprised because they just did that to the brand new 2018 iPad. They just put in the A10 Fusion chip and just supported the Apple Pencil with it. That's all they did. I won't be surprised and I won't be disappointed because just like the new iPad, the price is still going to be low at around $400 or $330. It's still going to have iOS 13. It's still going to have an amazing 4K camera. It's still going to have all those things, but with an iPhone 7 processor, making it going to last a lot longer and the battery life is going to be better. So the rumor does say possible Qi wireless charging, but I sure doubt that, and I'm not just surprised if an A10 Fusion chip is just added in there. And if I had to put a date on this, the rumor's saying May, but I will likely put it at early June because that's when WWDC is on June 4th. If you're hoping for a refresh of the 4-inch iPhone model, that could possibly happen on June 4th. So mark that date on your calendar. calendar. But I'd love your opinion about the iPhone SE 2 in the comment section below. And while you're doing that, I'll see you in the next one.